What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we've got a special treat for you guys. We've got a free-for-all battle, and we've got you see up here in the upper left, we've got my opponents are Paul, who's a buddy from the channel. He's using the dwarves. We've also got Turin using the Warriors of Chaos, and we've got a random guy who we just had opened it up. So we had using the Crooked Moon, we had a player named Midget. So you'll see that I've taken the Empire army, and so for my army, I've taken a whole bunch. Let's see, let's go ahead and stop. You see that Midget did some crazy stuff here. But it's a fun free-for-all to watch. So there's just crazy stuff going on all over in this one. So for my front line, you'll see we've got a whole bunch of flagellants. So we've got 4 groups of flagellants. Besides that, we've got over here on the right, we've got the Tattersouls, which is also a group of flagellants, but they're actually the Regiment of Renown. They're a little bit better. You see there, they've got some cooler weapons. Here in the back, we've got a group of handgunners. We've got the Silver Bullets, and we've got a second group of handgunners. We've also got 2 groups, the Knights of the Blazing Sun. And leading them is we've got this Empire Captain on top of a Barded Steed. So that should, I figure, give them some leadership, and that'll hopefully they'll be able to do some major work for me. Up here in the area, you see we've got Boris Todbringer on top of his Great Eagle, or it's not. No, that's not an eagle. It's a wyvern, I think. Yeah, no, Griffin, that's what it is. It's a Griffin on top of his Griffin. And besides that, we do have 2 great cannons up here. So if you look here, they should be doing some pretty good work for me, because they're right up here on the top, and they can see pretty much over the whole thing here. Okay, we'll do Midget's army next. He's using the Crooked Moon here. And so we've got Mogreb's Major Marauders. We've got a whole bunch of Goblin Wolf Rider Archers mixed in here. And if you look at that, they all have gold chevrons. So that's just a ton of units. Over here, he's got another group of 7, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Wolf Rider Archers. And again, these guys, I mean, they pretty much all have gold chevrons. So I didn't know you could take this many Wolf Rider Archers. Here in the back, I think, is the main part of his, or the last of his army on the ground. He's got a Dirkit Squigs. He's got some Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, all with, a ton of. There we go. 2 more groups with gold chevrons in them, and then this group of Goblin Wolf Riders, which has 2 chevrons, just regular 2 bronze chevrons. He's also got this Goblin Great Shaman, nice and cheap. He's got him on top of a wolf right there. So I think he just wants to keep his ground units mobile. Over here for Turin's army, you'll see he's got some Marauder Horsemasters with throwing axes, as well as just some, I think, okay, maybe those are both Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. And then over here on the left, he's got, just all sorts of chariots. So he's brought Gorby's chariot, 4 Gorby's chariots here. He's brought over here in the back, he's brought a couple of hell cannons, and his plan was to be Surtha Ek. So he's got some exalted heroes on horses, and he's got Archaon the Ever-Chosen. So he is ready to do some work. He's got 2 groups of Chaos Warriors, or he's got only one group of Chaos Warriors with chosen with halberds in the back here to guard these 2 hell cannons, and he is just ready to chariot it out. He has just got this massive Marauder army, and he is just mobile and all over the place. Let's go ahead and pause it for one more second. We've got the dwarves left. They've got some hammers here. They've got some long beards. We've also got right here the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Those Regiment Renown units. He does have this group right here of those Iron Drakes with Trollhammer Torpedo, and in the back he's got the Dragonback Slayers. So he's just got all sorts of units. He does have an organ gun. He's also got Ekran Miners over here. He's got a couple of groups of Thunderers. He's got Ulthar's Raiders, and that is always a good thing to bring, because Ulthar's Raiders will do some major damage. Look at that armor piercing they've got. They've also got Marked by Ulthar, which will reduce the missile resistance on somebody. And they can actually, put together with these Thunderers, they can take something down really quick. For his legendary lord, you look at, there we go. He's got Ungram Iron Fist. That is the Slayer King. And he is awesome. He is 430 weapon strength with armor piercing. And he should be able to do some work. But we are all going to have trouble right off the bat to Midget and his crazy army. So right off, you'll see here in the beginning, the Midget starts taking shots at everybody. So we're all going to start taking shots back. You see here, the dwarves actually have some pretty good vantage points here. So that organ gun, it will do some major work. Besides that, he's got those thunderers, and so we're just going to be taking shots. I've also got handgunners, and so he's going to have some real trouble. He's got all of these units in here. I'm not sure if he knew what we would have, but at this point, I'm also just trying to get Boris over here, just to kind of cause some fear, see if we can't maybe route some of these units off. And I figure I can charge in there, and look at that, we get in there. And over here on the left, we have actually charged in with our Knights of the Blazing Sun as well. So when they engage these Wolf Rider Archies, they have no chance, as you can see. But when I do engage over here on the left, I'm getting shot with those Hell Cannons. And so they're just slammed into the back. You see, we have actually taken a good amount of damage, but we're sitting here in first place with 2,000 points. So I'm kind of realized that I've overextended here, and look at, just as we sit up, the melee that's going on. Here in the back, we've got a bunch more of these Wolf Rider Archers which came back online. They're shooting at these flagellants. I've got Boris here on the ground that just routed a group off. We've got our cavalry over here on the left chasing a whole bunch more archers. And here, you'll see that Turin's Gorby's chariots are coming right here, and they're slammed in. And that did a ton of damage to those dwarves. So these guys are just going to be just rolling through all of those Gorby's chariots right into the dwarves. And Turin's actually going to start, gaining points quickly, I think, because of that. But, you know, the dwarves actually do have a lot of units over here. They do have a couple of Thanes, so I think they should have a Tormentor sword. And they're probably going to stop them before too long. Over here on my side, you'll see I've kind of grouped up, and I wanted to get everything put back, and we're going to start just taking shots. We're pretty much fighting off all of these Wolf Rider Archers now. So they're taking shots, they're killing Knights of the Blazing Sun, they're taking shots at my flagellants who don't have shields, and oh boy do I wish I had a few units with shields now. But I'm going to start pointing my Great Cannon at them, and I'm just going to, you know, just see what I can do. Here in the back, you'll see that Shaman casts a Curse of the Bad Moon there, and there's just a fight to the death going on here. These Durkit Squigs were just routed off, and these Castors with Halberds are actually already down to half health. All of Turin's, oh man, look at that Death Skull, that burning, oh man, that is so sick. But it doesn't do too much damage to those lightly armored units. And but as you can tell, Turin's holding his own. One of his Hell Cannons is pretty much dead, but the second one is still full health, full ammo, and it is ready to blast. Over here with his chariots, you'll see he has gotten a bunch of kills on those dwarves. The dwarves have actually taken some heavy hits. We've actually been shooting at them with our cannons this whole time as well. And if you see there, another shot just came in and it landed right into those Ulthar's Raiders. And there a shot comes in and he is getting pounded. So I kind of realized at this point that everything, you know, I'm pretty safe where I'm at. And I'm just going to be blasting in here and just taking as many shots at that dwarf if I can. And I'm using my my handgunners here in the back to kind of keep the you know, all of the goblin greenskin units off of me that I can. Whenever I'm able, I'm going to go ahead and land Boris Todbringer down here and just rout off a group of those Wolf Rider Archers. But I do not want to get stuck on the ground here. He does have a lot of units, and I think even though, you know, Boris has got 85 armor, I think if I can get in here and help him out, I'll probably, those Knights of the Blazing Sun will actually do some good work. Here back in at the main base again, you'll see the Turin is actually coming in here, and he's going to get in there and do some work with those Gorby's chariots. So when I see that happening, it looks like you see here, oh man, the dwarves just shot down one of those Gorby's chariots. You saw it kind of disappear and break there. But this is just mayhem going around all over the place. If we take a look at the scoreboard, Midget is actually in first place with 7,000. I've got 5,400. Turin's got 48 and 3,800 to Paul. But Paul with those dwarfs still has a good healthy squad over here, and I am actually starting to feel the burn. I am feeling pretty split on two sides. I've got Turin's Gorby's chariots, these Chaos chariots here in my back line. But I still do have these Knights of the Blazing Sun, and they have gained a chevron, and they have got some good health remaining, as well as, you know, still a lot of surprisingly healthy number of flagellants for how much range shot I was taking. So those Goblin Wolf Rider archers, as we know, because I play a lot of Greenskins, don't do as much damage as you would hope. And you see we still do have a good amount of damage here on this cannon as well. So I've actually managed to surround and destroy those Gorby's chariots. You see that one is shattered, and I've done it just in time to get in here and kind of face off and get a big charge there. Look at that, right into those dwarves. So I'm gonna have to fight it out with them. I'm at close range, so I'm gonna go ahead and move my my range units, like my handgunners, back here, and we'll try to get them in the back and give them some better area to fire, while I move all my flagellants and everything right up here in the front and try to do whatever damage I can. While I'm doing that, I'm also trying to get Boris here in the back, and I really just want to kill whatever I can. I don't want to have Boris here in this main battle, because I'm really trying to keep him away from this group of Thanes and you know, put together with Ungram, because that's just a hero killing hero killing I don't know, beatdown squad. Oh man, over here on the left you'll see that Turin has actually used Archaon to rout off like 25,000 of these greenskin units. So as he keeps routing them off, they're going right off the field here. So that's really going to make it harder for Midget. I think that Midget, even though he had a really strong start, now that his Night Goblin Shaman is taken off there, I think he's going to have a hard time still holding it together. He is still getting some final charges in there. I think he really is excited to take out Turin. If I remember right, he was talking a little bit of the crap in the chat. But these Durkit Squigs, look at them, those Squig Riders there fighting that Hellcan to the death. And Archaon's in there just routing them off. And I think before too long, I think that'll be about the end for the Crookedman player. But he has done his work. You see there those hell cannons, and I mean Turin is just constantly having to pay attention to that, while we are having our own battle here between me and Paul, the Empire and the Dwarves. And as you see here, he's still keeping this nasty beatdown squad together. So he's got those two Thanes and Ungram, and they're just getting in there and doing work. He's also managed to save, it looks like those Ekron's Miners saved a few of those blasting charges, so he tossed those in there, and those will actually destroy those flagellants. I mean, flagellants are just made to be killed by blasting charges. You see here, he has used that Tormentor Sword that's going to keep all of these units right here in place, so he can bring in his hammers and you know, take shots with these Thunders. I think he is going to, you know, get some. I think he's hoping to get some pretty good damage off, but I was able to escape over here with both my Empire Captain and with, oh man, look at that, with Boris. So I think my goal was to kind of try to get in here and take out this Goblin Shaman, or maybe get out over here and take out Turin, because I feel like I'm not doing too well over here against this Dwarf Beatdown squad. But I am doing okay. I do have my flagellants in here, and I've actually pulled into the lead. I'm fighting with Midget now, and I'm feeling pretty confident. I still do have this group over here, this Great Cannon, and he's taken a good number of shots. I have managed to chase down the Night Goblin over here and chase him off, and I think that I'm starting to turn everyone around. Here in the back, you'll see that Turin still does have one Hell Cannon. He's still got Archaon with a ton of health. But, you know, everyone's numbers are really starting to dwindle down. It is just a really even free-for-all, though. If you see here, look at the scores. Are all really close to within range of each other. Here in the back, you'll see these Thunders. I think Paul actually must have put them in melee mode and got them to come in here and get in this cannon. And that's a great idea, because those Thunders will take that cannon crew out no problem. And so I'm having to rush in here. You see I bring my Empire Captain in here, and I'm trying to rush in here and get into a fight. And also kind of get away from these, look at them, those stubby legs chasing me, and I'm just going to do whatever I can. I guess I'm going to have to fight him. And you see, when they actually catch him, they're going to take him out rather quickly. But the big goal for me is just to really take them out with army losses. So you see here, I'm still just destroying these groups of hammers and miners and whatever's in here. We're trying to get all of our flagellants still fighting, and that is one thing I like about the flagellants. They'll fight to the death. So they're holding the line while these handgunners get their fire off, You see the Boris is just going to escape right out of there, take off, and leave the stubby legs on the ground. That must be a grudging. And you see here we've got some gun lines taking a few shots at him too. And with the armor piercing, they will actually do pretty good damage, but you know, it's probably not best. I would much rather at this point take out the dwarven units and leave those heroes for last. Over there, it looks like Turin's regrouped. You can see that he's got Archaon on his way over here on his flaming steed there. He's got this unit. He's got his, you know, hell cannon shooting over here. He's still shooting at. Let's see if it. Oh man, it did. It got a kill and actually may have routed off this group of Goblin Wolf Rider archers. But this is just the final battle here. Right up here in the cleft of the rock, there is just the final battle going on. I'm in first place here with 1100, but I do not know if I can hold on. I've only got just a few units of these flagellants remaining, and besides that, it's just pretty much Boris fighting by himself. I mean, this unit of handgunners that was right here is pretty much broken off. You see all of the units that break now are just kind of right near the edge, so they're really... Oh, look at that. That was just another... Oh man, look at that burning. That is so cool. That is such a cool animation, man. Oh man. And it just leaves fire in its wake. So this is really coming down to a close, and there's a ton of bodies everywhere. Oh man. This is looking crazy. Look at Archaon charge in there. Boris is still at full health, but he's pretty much reached his healing cap at this point. I mean, there's bodies scattered everywhere. You can see this dwarven death squad is coming in here. Those two Thanes along with Ungrim. And I do not want to get trapped in that with Boris. I want to leave Archaon behind to fight that out. And I'm not sure if I think Archaon knows what's happening too. So you see there, I came in there and look at where I sent him. Oh man, I just sent him flying. I sent Ungrim. He's got Axe of Dargo, but when he's on his back, he can't use it. So I could have knocked him out there. Oh man, look at that. Another one of those burning skulls. Oh man, and so the dwarven player, his few units that he had remaining are kind of just, you see me in turn are kind of just cycle charging for points. You see Midges coming in here. He's still got a few Mogrubs. He's still got a couple of those Wolf Rider archers remaining. So he's gonna get in here and try to get his points, and it is still just so close. I think that whoever pulls out the victory is probably gonna pull out the victory in points as well. Whoever is the last one standing, I mean. You see Turin's kind of walking this hell cannon over. He's also got so he's got like a second army over here that he's holding in reserve. And I'm not sure if that's smart. He's got those Chaos Warriors with halberds. And I mean, if he had those in here with Archaon, he'd be definitely, you know, he'd be doing some work with them. So if we look around, you can see that Boris is my only unit left. So I'm sad, and I see how close it is. I know that if I don't win, you know, this is not going to be, you know, if I don't win in points, I'm not gonna. I mean, I've got to kill everything here. You know, if one of these guys survives, they're gonna overtake me. I do not have a big lead, so. But at this point right now, I really feel like it's in my best interest to try to kill that hell cannon. So I do go ahead and take another shot at the last of these dwarven longbeards over here, these with great weapons. We've got some shots over here at the Thane, and we'll take a couple shots at Ungrim. And at this point, we're just trying to keep it moving and keep doing damage and stay ahead of Paul, because it looks like, I mean, Paul's pretty much routed off too. Most of his units are gone, and so this hell cannon over here is going to be a major problem for us. So Turin is still sitting there. He's got all of his heroes. He's got a ton of look at that. Oh man, that is a big shot, and it is. And at this point, I'm starting to get worried. So I see those halberds, those Chaos Warriors with halberds. I'm going to just charge into him and just kind of keep moving through. Look at that. We'll send him sprawling. And they were not able to tie me down, and he is going to have to chase after me because I'm going to kill that hell cannon. I'm tired of hearing that thing whiz by my head. And even though I'm a flying unit, so I can't stay up in the air for too long, I can stay up in there long enough to get in there. Look at him hitting that thing over there. I can get in here and I can fly in, and I'm going to do some work. So I do some damage to this hell cannon. I start getting in there with that griffin. I'm getting work done. I'm gonna kill those chaos dwarves. Let's get in here and we'll do some work. And if you look here, I mean, that hell cannon, it's got 5 models left, but I think he's able to get in here and route me off in just enough time. Boris pulls up in the air, and I am able to get up, but at this point, I do not want to continue living with myself if I can't fight this out. There's not a lot of units remaining. You see here, Midget's got a few over here, but Boris is not gonna live to see another day. You see there that shot from Archaon was able to chop him in the back of the neck. It cut him down. And to add insult to injury, these chaos dwarves, they're gonna get right back on this hell cannon and start shooting again. Over here in the back, you'll see a little, a few more of those goblin wolf rider archers remain. I don't know how they're still on the field without a hero or a lord. You see, there's a big shot that'll shatter off those those dwarven longbeards there. You see, this group is probably not going to stay around to fight for too much longer. And I am out of it. You see my name's grayed out up here, but I'm sitting up at top. But I know that I'm not going to stay there for too long. Those Wolf Rider archers come in the back here, and they are able to do what I was not. You see here that hell cannon is actually 0 health remaining. There's no one left. It has been destroyed, and that is not good for Turin, because this dwarven beatdown squad is just doing amazing. You see that? Look at that. The exalted hero is taken right off, and Turin does not want to get involved with this beatdown squad. He's got to run Archaon out of there, and he's got to do whatever he can. Oh, look at this. We'll get a nasty charge coming in there. Oh man, he even knocked some of his own units out of the way. But if they're able to kind of catch him and hold him still, once they're all doing, swinging on him, oh man, look at that. I think Archaon did it. Oh man, Archaon routed off one Thane, 2 Thane. Let's see if Ungram against Archaon. This is just going to be the battle for the ages. He's got Ungram versus Archaon. The problem is it's not just one-on-one. He's got, oh man, look at him sending him flying with the force of his swing there. Ungram versus Archaon for the end of the free-for-all between Turin and Paul. Ungram's still swinging. Oh man, Archaon's about to go down. Ungram's surrounded by Chaos Warriors with halberds, but he is still fighting. And you look at Archaon charge in there, and down goes Ungram. You see him fall to his death. The Slayer King has fallen, just like he has always dreamed. And I think that routes off the Thane as well. And really, it looks like there's only 1:50 remaining. And that's pretty much it, though. That Thane is gone. Archaon's, done a good amount of damage. He's going to, just kind of chase these Goblin Wolf Rider archers that I don't know how they're still on the field. But overall, that's pretty much that. And let's go ahead and take a look at this post-game wrap-up. This game ran so long. It was just such a great match, though. Came down right to the end. You see here that Paul was the victor with 13,000 points. So it was such a close match. Even though Midget came with a crazy army, he was actually able to get a lot of points with that. Look at that. So we'll start with him in 4th place. Look at that, 42 kills. So across all of those golden chevron Wolf Rider archers, he didn't do too bad. He didn't get a super high number of kills, only 248. But the amount of damage he did must have been really high to get a score like that. So it was just fun to have someone like that. It was just super crazy for us when we were playing, and just a really fun addition to have to our free-for-all. That's the type of crazy things you get when you get in free-for-all, and I really do enjoy the addition to the game that they've put in with that. Here for Turin's army, you can see he's got Archaon, 238 kills. Archaon was just doing massive amounts of work with his magic. He was able to live to the end. You saw that he was just all over the place for the whole match. Besides that, these hell cannons, one of them actually was taken out pretty early. The second one was there till the very end battling and was able to do some good work. Besides that, all of these Gorby's chariots, these mobile marauder horsemen, you know, even though again, just like midget, I mean, 551 kills. A lot of that was with Archaon. The rest of it was spread across, but it was super close between me and Turin. I think I eked it out by 10 points. And I don't know where that 10 points came from, but I'm sure glad I got it. So Boris, you see there, 115 kills, 42 with the Empire Captain. And the 109 and 80 with the Knights of the Blazing Sun. So they actually did really well. I kind of wish that I had brought some Lore of Life or something. I would have been able to keep them blasting. And I don't know why I didn't bring any magic this. So don't do that. Don't listen to me, kids. Never go to a game without magic. And because the Winds of Magic is a useful thing that you should get to use. We got a bunch of kills, Tattersouls, Flagellants spread across all this. The Silver Bullets, the Handgunners did pretty well, and the Great Cannons were shooting for a good portion of the match. So I feel pretty well how I did, but just was not able to deal with Paul's, which is just nasty army. With that beatdown squad, his Ungram and his Thanes were able to take out my leadership. They were able to take out a ton of people's leadership. And that is just something I'm going to have to pay attention to. That Ungram with 2 Thanes is just a great build, you know, for beating down enemy lords. Besides that, I mean, he got a ton of kills. These Longbeards with great weapons, 104. He got 123 with the Dragonback Slayers. And actually did pretty well with the organ gun. I wasn't really able to focus it down with my cannon like I would have liked. But I did focus right down those Iron Drakes. So my cannons were able to take those Iron Drakes right out. So that's why you only got 2 kills with those. Ulthar's Raiders got taken down pretty quick, but his elite infantry corps was able to stand, even though some of these extra units got taken out pretty early. And you know, even without those Iron Drakes, he was able to pull out the victory. So it was just a really great game for Paul. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I was just so close, but yet so far away from victory. Paul pulled it out with the dwarves again, and you know, they're really strong since the Mortal Empires updates. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't for more great online content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's Battles.